Hi, everybody. Welcome to, I think it's the fifth installment of WCHA Commissioner's Corner, where I get the chance to sit down and talk one-on-one with our incredible student athletes, talking about hockey and real life things and everything in between. So today, really happy to be joined by senior forward from Minnesota State Mankato, Taylor Otremba from Lakeville, Minnesota. Taylor has had a really outstanding career so far through 3 years. Named captain for this upcoming season, has played in currently 111 games with 68 points, two-time WCHA Scholar Athlete, all rookie team member in 2023, and also has made some really exciting appearances with USA Hockey, including this summer at their national festival. So awesome. Welcome, Taylor.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and thank you for that.
Absolutely. So it's been a busy start to the school year. I know you've been really busy so far, but I know summer is not too far in the rear view. But what would you say is your summer highlight?
My summer highlight would have to be we thankfully get the opportunity for all the girls to come to Mankato and do some summer training. So we luckily enough had, I think we have 23 girls, 24 girls, and we had 23 out of the 24. So we only missed one girl. And so all of us were here and we all were packed in our houses, rooming up together and just being able to spend summer together and get to know each other, all the new players. So I would say that was definitely one of the highlights. But also another one, I ended up coaching a little bit with Barry Karn skating in the cities in St. Louis Park. And so I'd spend most of my days there too. And that was a really fun opportunity.
Have you done a lot of coaching?
Not too much. I actually get to do captain's practices for Mankato West this upcoming fall, starts on Sunday. But other than that, I've done the skating coaching and then maybe a couple of captain's practices, but that's about it.
That's exciting. It's good to get on that side of the board. You know, when you're up there, it really gives you a different perspective from being a player.
Yeah, for sure. And seeing the angle of how to approach people with um, conflicts or how to be better and word it a different way. And I think that definitely helps too, that now that I'll be captain to put myself in their shoes and from experience to be like, oh, like I feel like I can just approach it better.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit more empathy, I think, for your coaches when you step in that position.
Yeah, for sure.
And this past summer, I mentioned, you know, you did get to compete in that USA National Team Festival. You've done that before. That's an incredible achievement. How was that experience for you?
Yeah, I was very excited for the experience and leading up to the summer, worked hard and getting out there. It's just a beautiful place. And ultimately, like it was a great experience, great competition, and I learned a lot from it. Ultimately, didn't end the way I wanted, but it was a great opportunity, and I hope to take the stuff that I learned and apply it to the team this year and keep the girls learning what I learned, and we can get better together.
It's great, great attitude and lesson. So how has the preseason started for you? What's that routine like and how has it been from a team building standpoint?
The first week we came in, I think around like August 18th, all the freshmen moved in, got them all settled in the dorm. And then that week we had a bunch of meetings, but the coaches weren't on the ice yet. So we were just running captain's practices. And then the next week, we started doing coaches were, I think we were in our 8 hour weeks, I think it was. So they were slowly getting on, not every day. And then we were lifting Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then I think this past week, I think the coaches have been on more. And yeah, it's just been school started. So that first week too, we didn't have school, so we were just hanging out again. And then that second week, once the coaches started coming on the ice, then we had school start. So then just trying to figure out the schedule, get into routine. But it's been good and I'm excited.
Does it feel like it's been a lot, like, or has that perspective changed, you know, and now that you're a senior, now that you're a captain, are you just used to it, or does it kind of hit you still a little bit? being in that preseason mode?
Yeah, I think a little bit is routine for sure. Um, it's nice knowing like what to expect and um, seeing what like I'm not nervous, like I'm not scared like freshmen. They obviously are like, oh, don't know what's going on and something's new every day and like I'm comfortable with the campus, comfortable with the rink and everything. But I think a little bit of a change up with being captain and having more of a role and trying to say a voice more and just making sure everyone's got everything figured out and helping all the new people. I think like that part of it is definitely new. And I wouldn't say it's a lot, but it's just definitely a new perspective of that role. Because like coming in last year, I didn't really have any responsibilities. I just had to show up and I knew what to expect too since I was a junior. So just now having that leadership role definitely is put more on my plate, but I'm happy to do it.
And you're ready for it, right? And you've earned it. So that's part of that that's the benefits of the hard work that you've put into your team, and it's paying off.
Yeah.
So what thinking about your journey and what brought you to Mankato, what was that like for you in high school?
Yeah, in high school, I started playing varsity around eighth grade year. We, my class was that first class to have that rule change. So I actually had, I think half of my class was committed. And then the other half, we were still talking to coaches. So I had conversations during that year and the summer and stuff. And then the rule change happened. So then I got cut off. And then I just had the rest of the time to focus on hockey and high school hockey. Um, Great experience there. And then once the June 15th, I think, came around, then that's when I started talking to coaches more. And then that's when got on a few phone calls with Harrington and Sherry and Jeff Geeson. Um, and ultimately, I thought this was the place for home. And I, I thought that it being in the WCHA, I love the facility. The campus was great. It's not too big, not too small for me. And ultimately, the girls too, they were very welcoming. And I think they created definitely a good culture for me to come into and feel comfortable with. And I'm very blessed that I have been here.
So what is it about the Maverick team that you love so much?
I think it's the fact that every day we show up here at the rink and everyone is going to bring their all. Every knowing that it builds our culture and builds a family. And outside of the rink too, people are working hard in school and doing their absolute best. And I think creating that family, it's something I'm truly blessed to be a part of. And Um, they're true friendships, and I wouldn't say friendship, I would say family for sure.
That's special. That's awesome. So, thinking back to, who you are now and everything that you've been through and how you've grown as a person and as a player, looking back at maybe like 10 or 12-year-old baby Taylor, what advice would you want to give her?
Oh, I would say just keep going. Just keep going.
Keep
You
swimming.
just keep swimming. Don't compare yourself to anyone. Um, I think that was definitely one of the hardest lessons is comparing myself to everyone else's journey or everyone else's stats or games or how good they are. But I think trusting that you're a good hockey player and you can do great things and trust in that and just do your absolute best. Your time will come. Um, and just lean on the Lord and you'll be okay.
And I imagine like the recruiting process that you went through, like that advice would have been really good to hear then, especially when if you were in a situation where the rule changed and half your peers were committed, half were not, and then like that must have been a pretty anxious time. So I can see how that advice would be important.
Yeah, for sure. I like thinking back to that, it was hard not to. And be like, oh, they're committing and like I'm still on these calls and It's like, no, it's okay. Everyone's on a different path, and that's totally okay.
Yep, and you'll get where you're supposed to be eventually.
It'll all work out.
Absolutely. So thinking about your team, name a teammate that you think the world should know more about and why.
That's hard because I feel like I have a lot of answers for that. Like I would want everyone to know every single player on my team because everyone is so special and I love every single one of these girls and everyone brings such a cool aspect to the team that it's hard to be like, oh, like this person, but I would love for everyone to know everyone. But I mean, just my senior class in general, Whitney Tuttle, Kiana Roski, and Lily Ramirez, like all of them are great human beings and they all are great at hockey. And I think everyone should watch out for them this year because I think it us four and um, being able to stay together throughout these 4 years, we've built a bond and they're my closest friends. And I think that um, it's going to be a good year.
I think that answer might reveal why you're a captain this year, Taylor. Just that answer right there. Just all your teammates are special. That's amazing. So I love that. So thinking about hockey, you obviously played it and dedicated your life to it so far. What is it about the sport that brings you so much joy?
Yeah, I just grew up around it. And my grandpa, he was a hockey coach.
A
So,
legend, right?
yep.
Team
Yep.
Blaze?
Some people would say for sure. Definitely cool. So, and then my brother also played hockey too. So,
Okay.
going to my brother's games and then going to my grandpa's games, I was just always surrounded and it brought me so much joy. And I was so passionate from a young age to play the sport. And I just love being outside and being with my friends and being with my family. And um, I just love it all. I just think the air, something in the air is something in the rink and the ice. I just every time I step on the ice, I some days are hard, obviously. Some days are better than others, but I it's definitely I can't get over it. I love the sport and it brings so much happiness.
Yeah, absolutely. And it sounds like hockey and family are just really closely tied together for you, which is pretty special.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
thinking about, you're a senior, you're graduating, what do you see yourself doing in the future?
Past hockey.
Past or hopefully including with like what paths do you want to explore
Yeah.
after Mankato?
I for sure would want to explore the PWHL. I hope to be in the draft for sure. I'd want to do that, see how that goes. And then that's all I got planned. I just want to play hockey and I love it so much. And later careers can happen later, but I'd rather focus on this moment and even this season before any of that really truly happens. But I just want to play hockey and want to be a hockey player.
I love that. Great. So we also want to give an opportunity. I know I get to grill you for questions, but what we really love to hear questions from you and from our student athletes. So what do you want to know about the WCHA?
Yeah, I want to know a little bit more about the key initiatives for the WCHA that you guys are currently focusing on and how students can get involved more.
That's an amazing question. So I'm now starting year two, and I think last year I was just sort of learning, assessing, trying to get to know people, get to know how things have been done. And I think now in year two, we do want to see how we can take steps to improve how we operate, and also I think long term, really how improve attendance at our league games, our WCHA tournament games, increase viewership in terms of our television broadcasts, viewership on our streaming platforms. I think overall we want more eyes on our league because I mean I went to a ton of games and so people who know our league know how good it is, but then I think also people are like we need more people to see this, like women's hockey is incredible, the WCHA is incredible. So we really want to drive, we want fans in the seats. We want people tuning in, streaming, because then the more we can do that, the more we can market it. So that's something I think a primary initiative for the league. And I guess how student athletes can be involved is really be active on campus, like try to be visible, advocate for your teams, try to get more students to attend, really participate on campus in SAC, hopefully drive those discussions. But I think the easiest and simplest way that our student athletes can be involved is, use your thumbs, use your social media, and click, share, follow. Like we do a lot to promote the league, and the more that our players can then also like then just keep putting that out, and your social media presence is probably has a lot more reach than ours. So we really want to lean in to that to help those initiatives.
Awesome. Thank you. I have another one.
Yeah.
Uh, is there any upcoming events or projects or networking opportunities that I should be aware of or that you guys are doing?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. That's again, great question. Couple things that come to mind. So just this week, like we met with coaches for the first time, and we're asking for player or each team to support to produce two SAC reps, so student athlete advisory committee. So we do that within our league as well. So we want at least two people from each team who can regularly attend because we provide resourcing and programming through the SAC that can benefit all student athletes. So we want, regular attendance and then take that information back to your teammates. So if there's only one or two people on each call, like ideally you're taking that info and you're sharing it with your whole group because it can hopefully benefit everybody. There's also other things like we do send out a lot of information. I just shared something today it's an NHL sponsored event. It's a online seminar. Um, the NHL has a women's hockey advancement committee, and they're doing this seminar that could potentially lead to a full-time opportunity with the Seattle Kraken. So those are things that anything that I hear of, we send that out. So ask your coaches about it, and then also just don't automatically delete forwards. That's like my advice. Like read it because typically, like if we're passing it along, like we think it's going to be pretty beneficial to the schools and the student athletes.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. I think one of my coaches, I think Goose, came out and was like, we need the WCHA sacks. I was like,
Yep.
okay, so I might be in that.
Good. Good. Love to have it.
My last question I have is, what advice would you offer to emerging leaders or just student athletes looking to make a broader impact on collegiate athletics?
Again, amazing question. You're killing it, Taylor. Thank you. Um, I think I think the first thing is get involved and don't hesitate to get involved. I think your experience as a student athlete is incredibly valuable. And I know sometimes people can get a little short-sighted and think like, I've really only been focusing on hockey or that's not a limitation. Like I think your commitment, especially at the Division 1 level, has taught you so many things in terms of dealing with adversity, managing people, connecting and building relationships, time management, how to handle stress and pressure. Like there's so many intangible things that you learn through sport. So that offers you a really strong skill set. So I think leaning into that is a really important thing, and some people are hesitant to do it, but I really encourage people to embrace it. And then use every opportunity to network and connect. Like that is how the world operates. That's how the sports world operates. So you use your coaches, use our league staff, use people that you knew in high school, use everyone networks, and the people who do it really well get places faster than others who don't network. So I think, and again, it's really that's the history of men's sports, men's sports have done a really good job of networking and promoting and building on those relationships, and it pays off outside of the sports world and the business world. And as like we can do that too in women's hockey and women's sports. So I think just those two things is just embrace what your experience playing sports has given you, and it's given you an edge over people who don't. And then just look for every opportunity to network and connect and plant seeds, build relationships. That's a very intentional skill that can really benefit you in so many ways.
Awesome. Thank you. I definitely will put that into play.
Phenomenal. Yeah, great. So I think that's it. Thank you for your time.